as you take these first full breaths in your comfortable seat. Allow shoulders to release downward. Elbows slightly weighty. And then turn your focus to your breath. Simply notice the location of the breath within your body. Breath drawn in, passing the throat, passing the heart, filling the lungs, moving all the way to the very bottom of the lungs. Feel there the abdomen expand, soft belly expanding, navel moving away from spine. With just a spark of effort, not a lot of work, feel the navel draw in toward the backbone as you exhale the breath fully. Breath flowing in, breath flowing out. Aware of the quality of the breath, maybe inviting more smoothness. No chugging or pauses. We look now to smooth out the breath. Breath in. Belly filling, exhale, navel towards spine. Let's begin to bring some counting here. Bring the full intellect into this practice. Inhaling this way, this expansive inhalation across the count of 4. Exhaling across your count of 6. So it is the ratio, not so much yet the pace that we are looking for, but as we go, do consider slowing those counts. In for 4, out for 6. Continue this way another moment and come back to the freedom at the abdomen as you inhale. Fullness in that inhalation, the quality of fullness. Complete exhalation, an easeful, complete exhale across 6. Allowing ourselves to cultivate a bit of energy, we'll take our breath in across 4, pause for 2, and exhale across 6. You might find you keep the same pace you had established. When you ask the body to suspend the inhalation, if the rate of the breath changes, simply become aware. In for 4, pausing 2, exhale 6. And we'll spend just a moment with that. One more breath cycle that way. Inhaling, your pause, exhaling. And once you've completed that exhalation, let any work around the breath go. But stay in this moment anchored in your experience of breath. Breath now resuming its organic rhythm and depth. Determine what you most need today and anything you do not need from your practice. There will definitely be some vigor, so take what of that serves you and leave anything else. Be certain to modify, shorten, or forego anything that seems better to shorten, modify, or forego. As you inhale next, slowly begin to let the eyes open little by little, allowing in light. Check the jaw and the muscles of the forehead are soft, and with inhalation we'll reach hands out, slowly up, holding up the sky. Today we're out here, beautiful morning, blue skies, so take a little lift of the chin, lift the eyes a bit, lift the heart. And to help create that lift within the body, seat the sit bones into your resting place, mat, bolster, block, and take that rebounding energy to reach the hands up, reach the fingers up, connecting the fingers to the heart, to the whole center channel. Spark the fingers out as you lift the chin, lift the heart. Take another breath here. We'll soften the elbows a little or a lot and interlace fingers. Turn the palms toward the sky and begin to extend. There might be a good bend in the elbows, maybe a small bend, or elbows could extend fairly straight. If you find the arms coming forward, let's bring this work into the shoulders. Take the bend in the elbows and bring the hands back so palms are, for the most part, over the crown. Think of the inner edges of the shoulder blades. Just for a moment, think of them coming into the back ribs. And then slowly we'll bring the hands to the crown. Palms still face the sky. Yeah, palms to the sky. Begin to send the elbows back. Root down through those sit bones. Lift the crown into the interlaced fingers. Take a few deep breaths right here, drawing navel toward the spine. See that we're supporting, holding, not with rigidity, right? Just enough energy, holding the low back. Take inhale, we'll extend up. As we exhale, begin to roll the wrists. We'll come over to the right hand landing on the earth. Reach the left arm up a little over. We're not staying. We're going to go moving and breathing a few times first. So we'll begin to reach that right hand up. Maybe a little roll of the wrist before we plant that left hand for a beat. Reaching more up than over, but starting to work into that side bend. We can lift. Land the right hand. Reach over. Low elbow can definitely soften. Notice that shoulder of the arm that supports us and be certain there's space between that ear and shoulder. We'll come up once more, moving and breathing each side. Right hand landing, left arm reaching over. Maybe we find more depth. Doesn't have to be measurable, right? We might find the limbs are in a different position, but that's not the thing. Maybe our experience is deepening. Our awareness will come up. Let's go ahead, root that right hand, reach the left arm up to the sky, turn the palm away from midline. Yeah, open up that shoulder, open up the left quadrant of the chest, and then as we continue to reach over, rotate that palm to face the midline and the earth. Yeah, lift the heart, maybe lift the eyes. Check with the neck, always an option to keep the neck neutral. Yeah, think of allowing that left hip to become heavy and release into the mat. Take 2 deep breaths through the whole left side. And if you have a bend in the elbow, totally natural, that'll happen. See what happens if we extend that arm, even if it means we're not as far over to the eye. Yeah. And then inhale, and you can press with the right hand or call on the side waist in the deep center to do that lifting. Will come up. Breathe in at the top. Exhaling, we'll land that left hand and begin to reach over. And once again, anchored, we feel the release of that right hip into the earth. Turn that right palm to the sky, open the right chest, lengthen the neck. Maybe we're looking up, maybe forward. Talk to your neck and see what's good. We'll turn again that palm to face down, so rotate just at the wrist. Palm down, take those few deep breaths into your whole right side. And then we'll rise, inhale, begin to lift. Release both hands down to the mat. Softly, hands land. Take a few rolls for both shoulders. Shoulders rolling here. And see if you can go both directions just a few times, but always go a few more circles in that forward, up, back, and down. That'll help to entrain the shoulder blades into a favorable position here. And then release the arms, release the shoulders. Shoulders to wrists, nice and heavy. Hands out from the body just a bit. For many of us, if your seat is a little higher or lifted, maybe hands are closer. Lift the heart again. Find that even neutrality in the hips. We'll begin to lean back slightly, finding that nice Navasana seat, that boat pose seat. Yeah, so if you've got yourself on blankets, you might set them aside now. we can begin to bring the legs out. Ankles are crossed. Keep this initial cross for a few breaths. Ankles coming about in line with the knees. Take a few breaths here, and let's bring hands together. Hands to the earth if that feels more supportive and grounding. Breathing in, we'll extend legs away a little bit, begin to lean back slightly. And remember, this kind of work, we can come in and out. Everything right up to that no thank you moment with this hard work, yeah? We'll come forward, slowly switch the ankles. Take one inhalation. We did one on the other side. That's a good sign, right? We'll only do one on this side. Extend out. Keep the heart lifted. And as we exhale, we'll draw in. And bring the legs in, coming back to Sukhasana Easy Pose. Other arrangement for the ankles, or as I say, the weird side. Feels different. Maybe not our favorite. Let's take a hold of the knees. And as we inhale, begin to lift the heart. So when we move through poses that are simple, how could we engage the whole being, the mind, the breath, the body together? We don't need it to be grand, to be fully embodied here. So come into your breath, lift the eyes. Eyes could close if that turns you inward, and that's appropriate for your practice in this moment. With exhalation, keeping the length of the spine, send the sit bones down and begin to look down. Eyes coming in front of the ankles, at the ankles, or toward the navel as you curl. Find your own rhythm according to your breath. Ride the rhythm of the breath. Inhaling, coming into that arch, lifting and spreading the front ribs. Keeping the length of the spine, we press down through the sit bones as we roll back toward the back of the sit bones, curling. So again, a little dance with the breath. Find your own pace. And for these kind of poses, unless you're directed otherwise, you could come into a pose and take a breath cycle there. And then move on that transitional breath, or move breath for breath, your choice. Notice your spine, the muscles around the spine, the shoulders. So this one is a really nice opportunity to check in with any constriction around the shoulder blades. And we'll once more inhale, come forward. So wherever you are, once more we'll come forward. And then to neutral. Slowly inhale, take your arms up, let the elbows bend, bring hands just floating above the shoulders. Send sit bones down once again, draw on that rebounding quality through the central channel. We'll inhale, open the heart to the right, creating twist that comes from the area of the navel, that low power center. And then as you come to the end of the twist with the torso, with the spine, bring the hands down. If your energy calls you to it, you could take that left hand to right knee, but hands grounded could be a nice option today. So feel free to explore. Eyes at eye level. Lift the top of the head, taking inhalation for length, and exhale for twist. Think of driving this twist and sustaining it through that deep bandha power and orienting the heart to the side. Maybe you could think without force of shining that heart toward the space behind and invite the neck into this twist. Safety for the neck, always treating the neck and the bones there like fine china. Inhale, slowly we'll begin to unwind, bring the hands again over the shoulders. Take a slight inhalation, kind of like that holding up the sky. Lift the sternum, lift the chin, small back bend for the upper back. Neutralize. Next inhale, begin to open the heart to the left, coming to the natural end of that twist with torso and spine. Upon exhalation, lift the crown, release the hands down to the mat. It's an option if you find it essential to cross hand to opposite knee. But if that does something to the shoulder that's not necessary or helpful, hands grounded to the earth might be just the thing now. Sit bones rooting, crown lifting, heart open. Heart, navel, eyes all turning over that left shoulder. Take another full breath in. Out. And as we inhale, hands come over the shoulders, we'll release. Let's go ahead, bring the hands grounding to the earth and extend the legs out in front, bent knees. Yeah. Slowly explore an extension that is fuller. And then come to bend the knees once again. Inhale, extend the legs out, lift the heart. If it's an option, look up a bit. Exhale, bend the knees. And once more. Keeping it simple, exploration with this movement. We'll begin to bring the legs down and take a little simple movement through the knees. Yeah, just lifting one and then the other. So this kind of movement's nice in yoga when we're not bearing weight on these joints. We can move this way. Let's slowly come all fours. So it's an option to take the legs around or cross the ankles and roll over the legs, your choice. And as we come all fours, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips, take the drishti, that visual focus between the fingers. And yeah, we're on uneven earth, so if you start to practice and you find you need to do the yoga shuffle and move your mat, feel very free. Let's inhale here and begin to lift the sit bones and feel that arch ripple through the whole spine as we lift sit bones, lift the heart, feel the belly fall, filling with breath, lengthen the neck. Eyes begin to shift forward. We might land eyes on the earth, maybe directly forward, but feel spaciousness in the neck. And if you don't, take the neck into a little less of a back bend. With your next exhalation, begin to root into the outer palms, the length of the fingers. Shift the eyes back between the knees or toward the navel. Press into the earth. Lift the whole abdomen here. So we're moving fluidly, cat-cow. Though it seems the same as that seated arch and curl, we're incorporating different muscles. And, gravity has a big impact on our practice. So as you continue to find your rhythm in this little vinyasa, take your attention wherever the body seems to be having, big experiences. So when we're seated, it's not as likely, it depends on each body, but it's not as likely we'll feel quite as much through the hips and back because our hips are fixed, relatively fixed in that Sukhasana position. But here we find some more fluid movement there, and that might move into other areas. So allow your awareness to move through the muscles, a little thought of micro bend in both elbows. Now let's take one more, inhaling into cow just this way. As you exhale into cat, begin to press into the palm knuckles and shift the hips just behind the knees. An inch or two, take a deep breath into the low and mid back. And begin to root through the hands, pull the chest forward, a little bend in the elbows, come back into that cow, sit bones lifting, heart lifting, and open to the space in front.